My God, I have not been this addicted to a game in a very long time. Building, crafting, planting in a full pirate world? Yeah, I'll take that immediately. This is Windrose, and I've already put about 100 hours into it, so let's talk about it. If you like real no BS reviews and just vibing with games, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, it helps a ton, and I've got a lot more coming. So Windrose, this is an open world pirate survival RPG from Kraken Express. It's on PC right now, about 30 bucks, and it's in early access. So yeah, there's gonna be bugs, but there's also something here that a lot of pirate games are missing. At its core, Windrose is a PvE survival pirate game where you're building your own life from the ground up. You're not just sailing around looking for treasure. You're gathering materials, building full coastal bases, upgrading your ship piece by piece, and fighting everything from animals to undead pirates to full-on boss encounters. You can run it solo with a crew, and the whole vibe is survive, build, grind, and slowly turn yourself into a full pirate, and bringing in that empire along with it. It honestly feels like a mix of survival games like Fallout 4, The Elder Scrolls, Once Human, and many more, but dropped into a pirate world with way more freedom. And combat on land is solid, but I'm gonna keep it real. It feels a little older in design, a bit outdated if you ask me. And the weapons do feel different, which I do like, but you've got a variety depending on how you want to fight. But the enemies, they will catch you slipping. Even on lower settings, some of the enemies hit way harder than expected. So if you're not running food buffs, drinks, elixirs, you're going to get dropped. And the big switch happens in the nighttime, when the sun goes down. This game flips on you and the enemies change, the pressure changes, and suddenly you're just not exploring, you're trying to survive. Now this is where Windrose really separates itself. Ship combat is insanely smooth and actually feels like you're controlling something with weight. At first, I was getting tossed, I was getting slicked, I was getting destroyed. I lost ships, I wasted resources, everything. But once you understand the rhythm, when to fire, how to position, how to cycle your cannons, what's the best timing to shoot a cannon at somebody, it truly becomes addictive. And now I'm out here fighting boats to farm resources like piastre, wood, everything, just off of naval fights. And I'm gonna say it, this might be one of the most immersive ship combat systems we've had in a long time. If you're into building, yeah, you're not leaving this game anytime soon. And I went from let me make a small little base to building a full town. I have shops, I even have a church. And what makes it so good is something simple. The game actually gives you the pieces you need. Each open world building game that I have played, there's always missing corners, there's always weird gaps, and you're constantly trying to fight the system or find a way to manipulate anything that has to do with building. But you can actually create what's in your head. You get the pieces needed, little corner pieces to finish off those stairways, perfectly rounded stairs to be able to put walls and such under it. Once you start unlocking more plans through quests in places like Tortuga, yeah, it's a wrap. You're locked in. Sailing is very simple. It's clean. It just feels right. Nothing overly complicated.
All of this just works. It's not, I'm not kidding.
And with that said, I do wish we had more interaction with the ship. Like, let me climb up to the lookout. Give me more immersion there. You know, you have the option to go on the side of some of the ships and hang off the net, but what if we can really climb up to the lookout or sit up in front of the ship? Exploration, this is where the game keeps pulling you back. Massive ocean, tons of islands, and every island has a purpose. Resources, food, materials, progression. You are never really wasting time exploring. You're always going to find something that you need or want. Crafting. Crafting is done right here. Instead of constantly replacing stations, you upgrade them, which is honestly one of the best systems I've seen in a survival game. And I have gotten sick and tired of upgrading my things and then having to get rid of the older tables just to progress. No, this system allows you to get specific items for your table which then levels them up. But explain this to me. We have windows, bottles, and such, but glass is not its own resource. Explain this to me. But that's just one of the things that feels unfinished. And the progression, the grind is real, but it is rewarding. You're always unlocking something new, improving your build, getting stronger, and there's even a point system that lets you shape how your playthrough feels. Now, if you're familiar with pirate games, you're probably expecting some comparisons, like Sea of Thieves. That game is fun, especially with friends, but it's very arcadey to me. You're locked into first person, you don't really build anything permanent, and progression is mostly cosmetic. Windrose gives you ownership. Your base, your gear, your progression, it actually feels like your world. And now Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag, which is coming back with a resync, legendary game, no debate. But that's a story-driven experience, and you're playing through their pirate fantasy, not your own. And the ship combat there is fast, almost too fast. It almost feels like an action sequence from a Ridley Scott movie. Windrose slows it down just enough to make it feel real, like every fight matters. And then you've got Skull and Bones. That game is basically all ship combat, and even that feels arcadey compared to this. So when you're looking at Windrose, it gives you the full package. Your build, you survive, you fight on land and sea, and you create your own experience. And this is the difference. Player freedom. Now, some strengths I have here is that this game is constantly throwing things at you that makes you want to keep going. New enemies, random events, unexpected fights. It doesn't feel dead. And again, ship combat completely surprised me. And this is perfect for players who want a true open pirate sandbox, or even small RP groups trying to build stories and content. Now, we got all the good stuff out the way, but we need to talk about some of the issues. It's early access, so bugs are everywhere. Quests bugging out, NPCs not spawning, items disappearing, ships randomly appearing at your camp, although I feel like that might be a mechanic in the game, I'm not sure yet. And the shop system. You can literally buy the same blueprint twice with no warning, and this needs to be fixed ASAP. I bought the same plan 3 times now, and I did not mean to do that. The gameplay loop is simple. Grind, build, fight, repeat. It works, but it's still slightly repetitive. But the different enemies throughout the different regions really helps you build a different experience each time you play. And a couple missing features: no faction or crew system, no crew identity customization, no glass crafting, which still does not make sense to me. And please, give us more shanties. Way more. And a proper photo mode. A proper photo mode for a game like this with its beauty, a photo mode is proper. Now, you can currently hit your slash button and it'll take out the HUD so you can get the pictures and video that you need. But a photo mode would be absolutely proper. Now, I've put about 100 hours into this, mostly with friends, and honestly, it stays fun. You know, there are times when we're sitting there listening to each other breathe while we're either focusing on certain quests or certain building aspects or farming or anything like that in the game. But if you're just building or vibing, you can literally just sit there for hours creating, fighting, or exploring. And my final verdict for this game right now, and this could change in the future, is a 7.5 out of 10. Right now, it's rough around the edges, but this genuinely feels like the start of something big. It really, truly does. It is so early in the game, but it gives you so much. It is so generous. And you would think that the game is probably complete, but there are already updates that they're going to be planning on bringing to us in the near future. But let me know. If you have any questions or any comments, just write them down below. And I do have a question for you guys. Would you play this over Sea of Thieves, Assassin's Creed, and/or Skull and Bones? Or are you going to come to this if this is available to you? Drop your thoughts below, and I'll catch you in the next one.